Gervonta Tank Davis gets a 12th round knockout over Gervonta Gamboa last night. He scores knockdowns in the second round, 8th round, and gets a knockout in the 12th. A good performance, not a lights out performance. Gamboa, 38 years old, so that's old in boxing terms. He was stopped by Terence Crawford in 2014. That's 5 years ago. So you would have thought on paper that Davis would get him out of there by like 4 to 7 rounds, but boxing doesn't always work that way, you know. Sometimes fighters train better, or they just have a stronger will on that particular night. But regardless, give him his credit. He turned it on in round 11 and got him out of there in round 12. So give him his credit. So for those who don't know, Gervonta Davis is being promoted by Floyd Mayweather, and he's being sort of spoken about as the next thing, you know, the next big star coming out of America by Mayweather Promotions, and also by a lot of American journalists and a lot of fans as well. And me personally, I like to watch him fight. He's very vicious, kind of like a young Mike Tyson, maybe not the same head movement, but he's like a young Mike Tyson, a lot of very short, vicious punches, and he's a puncher, he's all action. Looked a bit lackluster in spots yesterday. He's never been 12 rounds before, maybe that's why maybe he was a little bit apprehensive, but he got the victory. What's not looking good for him though is he struggled to make weight. So normally Davis fights at 130 pounds, which is junior lightweight, but because he struggled to make weight a few times for a few of his fights, he's gone up in weight to 135 pounds, which is lightweight, and he didn't make the weight. He came in at 136 pounds, which meant he had an hour to go off and come back on the scales at his second attempt. So obviously when they go off, they go and do a bit of training or go in the sauna or whatever. He made the weight 134.8 pounds, which so he was able to fight for the title. If you don't make weight, you lose the title on the scales. So that's not looking good for him, because it kind of shows that, you know, you're not living the life, or maybe you're training really hard but you're not eating correct, or maybe you're drinking too much alcohol in between fights. So that's worrying, and I'm sure that Floyd Mayweather has put a lot of money into him, and also put in his name. You know, him speaking and saying that Tank is the exultant one, is the next big thing, and giving him all this approbation. That's Mayweather, you know, using his name to reference you. So you've got to represent a little bit. So I'm sure that Mayweather's going to be sitting down saying, listen, when I was your age, I never missed weight, and outside of my fights, I was always in fighting weight. You know, and those who follow boxing, you know that fighters like Mayweather and Bernard Hopkins, they always, when they weren't fighting, they was always ticking over and doing a small bit of training, so they're not gaining weight. So when they come to fight in a fight camp, which is like 8 weeks or 6 weeks prior to a fight, they're not focused on losing weight. They're focused on technique and stamina and concentration, and that's what separated Mayweather and Bernard Hopkins. But Tank is still young. Hopefully Mayweather will sit him down and give him a straightener and say, listen kid, I put money into you, I'm putting my energy into you, you've got to sort this out. And Tank needs to listen, because one thing Mayweather was good at was always coming in shape, you know. So let's look at the Ring Magazine's rankings for the weight class that Davis has now entered, 135 pounds. We have the champion, Lomachenko. So he's not number one by the Ring Magazine, he's the champion. So they recognize him as the best fighter in the division. Number one, they have Richard Comey, who lost to Teofimo Lopez. So he'll probably be a lot lower in the next edition. Number two, Devin Haney. He also another superstar, a young kid. Number three, Teofimo Lopez, who beat Comey, another American, very good puncher, who's got a lot of superstar potential. Number four, Luke Campbell from the UK, who lost to Lomachenko earlier this year. Number five, Robert Easter. 6, Fortuna. 7, Emmanuel Tagot. 8, Anthony Crolla, who's probably going to retire soon. 9, Ryan Garcia, who's promoted by Golden Boy, wicked hand speed. Number 10, Rancis Barthelemy, who I haven't heard of. I reckon that Tank will probably come into this weight class when he's ranked by the Ring Magazine. He'll probably come in about number 5, just after Luke Campbell, or he might come in maybe at number 3. But I think they'll have Devin Haney as number 1, Lopez number 2, and because Comey's lost to Lopez, I think they'll have him maybe down to number 5. So they'll fit Tank somewhere in between 2 and 4, I reckon. But what's next for Tank? Well, ideally he's gonna be fighting guys like Luke Campbell, Lopez, Haney soon. Maybe not Lomachenko next because he needs a bit more time. He needs to work on his stamina. But one of those guys. But the only issue is that, for those who don't know, in America we've got like a cold war going on where if you fight under a certain promoter, under a certain network, it's hard to fight outside your network and outside your promotional deal. So for example, Gervonta Tank Davis is promoted by Mayo Promotions, who are advised by Al Heyman, and they fight on Showtime. While Teofimo Lopez, he fights under Bob Arum, under ESPN. Devin Haney, he fights under Eddie Hearn, under Matchroom and DAZN. So those fights might be tricky to make. And also Lomachenko fights under Bob Arum under ESPN. So that's the only issue getting in the way there is how can we make those fights. But that is a very exciting division, and all I can say is Tank, outside of boxing, you need to get your ass in gear. You need to be living the life, because the talent you got is not equating to you getting on these scales. Something's not adding up. What's your thoughts? Who do you think Tank should fight next? Who do you think he will fight next? Because Tank's been given all this praise as this next superstar, he's got to start fighting some guys that hold a lot of clout now. And Lopez and Devin Haney, both very young like Tank, they're on the same level. They have to get in the ring with each other. Failing that, is Tank gonna go to 140 where the guys are bigger? You got Reggie Prograis there, Josh Taylor, Jose Ramirez. Will your power hold up at 140 pounds? That's 10 stone. I'm not too sure. But let me know your thoughts. This is MSLB, Mark Sternler's Boxing, okay? Take care. Bye-bye.